Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into a natural event unfolding right now. It's massive, powerful enough that it's triggering alerts across the entire Pacific.
Yeah, it's a big one.
We're talking about the magnitude 8.7 earthquake off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, a real seismic titan.
Truly significant.
And the result, a tsunami watch that's now gripping the entire California coast.
That's right.
So our mission in this deep dive is really to trace the ripples of this huge event. We'll break down exactly what the different alert levels mean for you.
Which is crucial.
Yeah, understand its potential impact, globally and locally, and most importantly, what you need to know to stay informed and safe.
Absolutely. Preparedness is key.
We'll even zero in on some fascinating details like the estimated wave arrival times for specific cities right here along the California coast.
Okay.
So, as we speak, these ripples are still spreading, right? Let's trace this back to the origin.
Let's do it.
The Earth literally shook at 4:24 p.m. Pacific time, July 29th, magnitude 8.7. Staggering.
It's just huge.
Its epicenter was off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula, roughly 80 to 125 miles southeast of Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky. And the depth, around 12 to 19 kilometers. That seems quite shallow for such a powerful quake, doesn't it?
It is. Yeah, that's a really important point. A shallower quake like this means more of that immense seismic energy gets transferred directly into the water column.
Okay.
It displaces it vertically. You can almost picture it like a giant paddle suddenly striking the water from below, pushing it upwards. And that's exactly why these shallow, powerful offshore quakes are the main drivers for really devastating tsunamis.
Unlike the deeper ones.
Exactly. With deeper events, much of that energy kind of dissipates before it really impacts the surface water in the same way.
Got it.
And, it's vital to grasp that this region isn't just active, it's part of the Pacific Ring of Fire.
Right, the famous Ring of Fire.
Yeah, where something like over 80% of the world's largest earthquakes actually occur. It's an incredibly dynamic zone.
Wow, 80%.
And what's truly astonishing, maybe hard to wrap your head around, is that an 8.7 magnitude quake releases energy equivalent to, well, tens of thousands of Hiroshima-sized atomic bombs.
That's incredible power.
It really is.
Yeah.
A stark reminder of the planet's raw, constant power.
So, given this immense power, let's talk about these alerts. What does it all mean when you hear terms like tsunami watch or maybe advisory?
Yeah, good question.
Because right now, a tsunami watch has been issued for the entire California coast. I mean, that's huge, stretching all the way from the California-Mexico border up to Chignik Bay, Alaska.
That's a vast area.
It is. And meanwhile, Hawaii, Alaska's Aleutian Islands, and even Japan, they received even higher level tsunami warnings.
Warnings are more serious.
Right. And then other places like Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, other parts of Alaska and Hawaii are under either a watch or an advisory. It's a complex picture.
It is, and it's critically important to distinguish between these terms. Let's start with tsunami watch, because that's what California has right now. A watch means a tsunami is possible due to a distant seismic event. It hasn't necessarily been confirmed yet for that specific coastline.
So it's like a heads up.
Exactly. It's the period where officials are continuously monitoring all the data. They're looking at tide gauges, those deep ocean dart buoys.
Right, the buoys.
To see if a wave was generated and how big it might be. Based on that incoming data, they'll decide whether to escalate it to an advisory or a warning, or maybe cancel it altogether if the threat diminishes. It's basically be alert, stay tuned.
Okay, so that's the watch. What about an advisory?
Right. A tsunami advisory, even though it might sound a bit less severe than a warning, is still critically important. It means there's a real danger expected. Maybe not a massive destructive wave, but strong, unpredictable currents or dangerous localized waves are likely.
Currents can be dangerous.
Extremely. These currents can easily sweep people off beaches or out of harbors. They can damage boats, make marinas incredibly hazardous. That's why the main instruction during an advisory is always stay out of the water, stay away from beaches and harbors. It's non-negotiable.
Got it. So watch is possible. Advisory means dangerous currents likely. Warning means imminent flooding wave.
In simple terms, yes. Warning is the highest level, indicating significant inundation is expected or occurring.
Okay. And what's fascinating here is just how quickly this spread, the immediate impact across the Pacific, far beyond Kamchatka.
Oh, absolutely. You have to imagine the scene in Hawaii, those alerts suddenly pinging across everyone's phones.
Yeah.
A full tsunami warning was issued there. They were expecting impactful waves around 7:17 p.m. Hawaii time, which that's 10:17 p.m. Pacific time on July 29th.
So pretty fast.
Very fast. Residents in coastal zones were instructed to evacuate urgently. Often you only have a few hours' notice in those situations.
Wow. Okay, so as this massive energy pulse spread out, how quickly did other nations react? Like Japan. They're known for having really rigorous tsunami protocols.
They are, and they moved incredibly fast, as you'd expect. Their meteorological agency, they wasted no time issuing evacuation alerts. They were forecasting waves up to 3 meters, which is about 10 feet or so, on parts of their Pacific coast, including Hokkaido.
It's hard to really picture a 10-foot wave when we think tsunami. It sounds big, but maybe not like a Hollywood movie wave. Can you paint a picture for us? What makes a tsunami wave so different, so much more dangerous than maybe, say, a big storm surge wave we might see here in California?
That's a great question because they are fundamentally different. The critical difference is that a tsunami isn't just a wave on the surface, like wind-driven storm waves.
Right.
It's more like a colossal surge or wall of water that involves the entire water column, from the ocean floor right up to the surface.
The whole depth of the ocean is moving.
Essentially, yes. It carries the immense energy and momentum of that entire column of water. So when it reaches shore, it often doesn't look like a classic breaking surf wave. It might appear more like a very rapidly rising tide or just a continuous, powerful surge that rushes inland for minutes.
Like a flood moving very fast.
Exactly, a very powerful, fast-moving flood. And that's why people sometimes tragically underestimate them visually until it's far too late. The destructive power is immense, even if it's only 10 feet high.
Right.
And even closer to the source, back in Kamchatka itself, coastal areas there reportedly experienced waves up to 3 to 4 meters. That prompted immediate evacuations in the affected Russian towns near the coast.
Just shows how quickly things happen.
Absolutely. These waves propagate incredibly fast across the deep ocean.
Okay, so now, for many of you listening from the West Coast, particularly here in California, your mind is probably already jumping to, okay, when could this impact my area? Let's zero in on the estimated tsunami wave arrival times that have been issued for specific cities along the California coast. Keep in mind these are estimated times, and they span from late last night, July 29th, into the early hours of this morning, July 30th.
Right, these are initial estimates.
Exactly. So for Fort Bragg, the estimate was around 11:50 p.m. last night. Crescent City, just a bit later, maybe 11:55 p.m.
Yeah.
Then moving south, Monterey, around 12:15 a.m. this morning. San Francisco, about 12:40 a.m. Santa Barbara, 12:50 a.m.
So after midnight for most of the central and southern coast.
Yeah. Los Angeles Harbor, around 1:05 a.m. Newport Beach, 1:10 a.m. And then down towards San Diego, Oceanside, or La Jolla, around 1:15 a.m.
It's really crucial, though, I think, to reiterate what the official centers are saying. No significant local tsunami wave has actually been observed yet along the California coast.
Right, that's important. This is based on modeling and potential.
Precisely. Continuous evaluation is underway by the tsunami warning centers. This is a very dynamic situation. They're watching those tide gauges extremely closely now. But, if we connect this back to the bigger picture, an 8.7 magnitude earthquake, that truly ranks among the strongest recorded worldwide.
Yeah, that number, 8.7, it sounds big, but maybe? Maybe it's hard for people to grasp the scale. We hear earthquake all the time in California, but usually much smaller.
Yeah.
Can you put that 8.7 into perspective against, say, a 6.0 we might feel more often?
Absolutely. And it's not intuitive because the scale isn't linear, it's logarithmic.
Right.
Each whole number increase on the Richter scale, or more accurately, the moment magnitude scale used now, represents about a 32-fold increase in the energy released.
32 times.
Roughly, yes. So an 8.7 isn't just a little bit bigger than a 6.0 or even a 7.0. It's hundreds, actually thousands of times more powerful in terms of raw energy unleashed.
Wow. Thousands. Okay.
To give you some context, this event is comparable in magnitude to some really major historical events, like the 1952 Kamchatka earthquake, which was huge, estimated around 9.0 magnitude.
So this is in that same league.
It's definitely playing in the major leagues of global seismic events. A very, very significant earthquake.
Okay. So that really underscores the seriousness, even with just a watch issued here.
Absolutely.
Which naturally raises the big question. What should coastal residents and visitors actually do right now?
Yes. And the key safety recommendations from the authorities are quite clear and immediate. If you are in any coastal area under a watch or advisory, so California, Oregon, Washington, parts of Alaska, the advice is stay alert.
Okay. Huh. Stay alert.
Continuously monitor updates from official sources. We'll mention those sources again later. And critically, avoid beaches and harbors. Just stay away from the immediate coastline for now.
And this is a big one to remember. I think we really need to stress this. Do not, under any circumstances, try to go down to the shore to watch for tsunami waves.
Please don't. That is extremely dangerous.
Why is it so dangerous, even if the waves aren't huge?
Because tsunami currents, as we mentioned with advisories, are incredibly powerful and dangerously unpredictable. They can surge unexpectedly. Even small waves can generate currents strong enough to sweep you off your feet, pull you out to sea faster than you can possibly react. River mouths are also particularly dangerous as the water surges in and out. Just stay away.
Okay. Good warning. Stay away from the water's edge completely.
Completely. And know that California emergency offices, county by county, they're closely monitoring the situation. They're looking at the real-time data from tide gauges.
Right.
They have the capability and will not hesitate to issue local evacuation orders or upgrade alerts for specific areas if the data shows conditions are changing and it becomes necessary.
So things could still change.
Absolutely. Your local authorities are working with the latest information to make the best decisions for public safety.
And for getting that ongoing real-time information, where should people be looking?
Always, always turn to reliable official sources. That means NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, specifically the National Tsunami Warning Center website.
Okay, NOAA.
Your local National Weather Service office forecasts and alerts, and of course your city or county emergency management office or local authorities. They'll have the most specific information for your location.
So check those official channels frequently, not just social media rumors.
Exactly. Stick to the official sources. They provide the accurate, up-to-date information you need.
Okay, so let's quickly summarize this deep dive then. We've looked at this incredibly powerful magnitude 8.7 earthquake off Russia's Kamchatka Peninsula. It's triggered this widespread tsunami watch across the Pacific, and that includes the entire California coast.
Right.
Understanding these alert levels, watch, advisory, warning, and knowing how to react, especially staying away from the coast during a watch, is absolutely paramount right now.
It really is. And this event, watching it unfold in real time, it really highlights two things for me.
Yeah.
First, obviously, the immense, almost unimaginable, untamed power of our planet.
For sure.
But second, and maybe more encouragingly, it also showcases the sophisticated global systems we've built, the sensors, the communication networks, the warning centers, and just the dedicated human effort that goes into providing these critical early warnings.
That's a good point. The science and cooperation behind it.
Exactly. It really underscores this constant dynamic relationship, doesn't it, between these huge geological forces and our collective human preparedness, our attempts to understand and mitigate their impact.
That's a great final thought. That balance between nature's power and our efforts to prepare. Indeed. So we really encourage you to reflect on the insights we've shared today and perhaps, take this as a prompt. Maybe take a moment, delve deeper into your own local emergency preparedness plans.
Always a good idea.
Yeah. Connecting this kind of global event knowledge to personal, local action really makes you well-informed and safer. That's all for this deep dive. Stay safe out there and please stay informed.